I'm here to pull the curtain back and show you guys that it is possible to make a living full-time doing social media without being some sort of like mega celebrity, because I think that's what people don't understand. I think that a lot of people think that unless you're like one of these guys with millions upon millions of subscribers and followers and things like that, that you're going to be struggling to keep the lights on, and that is genuinely not how this works. I've been full-time with social media now since 2020, so we're coming into 6 years, which is insane to think to me. And I would say that every single year that I've been doing social media full-time, a different income source has been the primary income source. Granted, going forwards, it's going to be more consistent because I'm at a point now where I get sponsors and things like that, and anyone that is even remotely interested in learning social media will tell you that sponsors typically are the biggest thing. But I'm happy to go through each and everything that I've ever done, how to help you guys do each and everything that I've ever done. I have always been incredibly transparent with my income and how social media works through my short form content over on TikTok and things like that. And it has only ever really annoyed people. But the reason that I've always been so transparent is because I come from a council house, right? I hated school. I didn't go to university. I was working at Tesco as an adulty adult in my 20s. I would speak to customers constantly and they would look at me and go, "Oh, you're just here in between, like, uni." And I'd be like, "No, this is just kind of it." And they'd look at me with this look of disappointment as if to go, "You're doing nothing with your life." And I had no idea what I wanted to do. I didn't do social media on purpose, I sort of fell into winning with it accidentally. And like I think most regular folk, I didn't really realise that you don't have to be the guy with millions of followers to make a full-time living. I was full-time with social media at 10,000 followers over on TikTok. I run another channel on here where I just do day-to-day vlogs, collecting video games and things like that. It's very small. My average views are about 5,000 to 7,000 views. You would never think that 5,000 to 7,000 views could produce anything meaningful in terms of income. You're looking at guys like Mr. Beast who get like 100 million views a video. You're looking at all these fellas that hundreds of thousands of views are their minimum baseline. I'm going to show you what I get paid for those YouTube views because I think it's interesting and I think it could inspire some people to start who otherwise might not have because they think they can't do it. And I promise you can do it. Right then, so in the last 28 days, because that's just what YouTube uses, I have had 247,000 views, 2.9 million impressions with a click-through rate of 6%. That needs to improve if I'm ever going to grow. So an impression, when you're on your YouTube homepage or whatever, and you see all the different videos that you could potentially watch, every single one of those counts as an impression for that person's video. So my videos have appeared in front of people nearly 3 million times, but only 6% of the time do they click the video and watch it. The higher this percentage is, the better. Combine it with an average view duration that's pretty high, even better still. So, just shy of 250,000 views, and I upload every single day, right? For the most part anyway. Let's have a look at revenue then, shall we? So, for that 28 days, I have made £1,311. This puts my average RPM, which is revenue per 1,000 views, at £5.38, which is pretty good, really. So my, in the scheme of things, tiny YouTube channel is earning about minimum wage per month-ish. Like, again, I'm making this on the 24th of August, so we've still got a week to go, and I make between 40 to 50, sometimes £60 a day. So £1,500 a month-ish. And that's for a tiny YouTube channel. Again, 5,000 views on a video is not a lot. It really is not a lot. For example, the twins up here, their video got 519,000 views, yeah? Now, if they had the same RPM as me, because obviously everybody's RPM is going to be a little bit different, but assuming they did, they've got double my monthly views on a single video and would have made, £2,500 off of one video? There are levels to YouTube, and I think people don't understand just how high the peaks and the troughs are. I see YouTubers that have been around now since I was a teenager. This is the interesting thing about YouTube, is YouTube as a platform is about 20 years old now. People have been making a living for quite a long time off of YouTube. There are YouTubers out there that were in their 20s when they started making a living and somehow are still managing to do something with their channel, even though they're now about 40. And sometimes I see people say that they've fallen off, and it's because they're getting like 20,000 views a video, where they once would get 250,000 views per video. But again, 20,000 views a video if 1,000 views is about a fiver, that means that 10,000 views is 50 quid. Means 20,000 views is 100 quid on one video. If I ever get to a point where my YouTube channel is making 100 quid a day, I will be over the moon. That would be brilliant. I'd be so happy with that. Prior to social media for a living, I had two jobs. The first job was I worked in a primary school as an apprentice business administration apprentice. Yeah. I was being paid about £2.50 per hour. This is back in 2016, where the minimum rate wage for an apprentice was £3.30, but they prorated it down to £2.50 because of half terms. So I was getting paid £2.50 an hour. I was working 30 hours a week to get paid £250 a month. It was mental looking back on it. I can't believe I did everything that I did for them at that rate, and I took a whole lot of bullying too. I remember at one point the assistant head teacher pulled me into a little room to ask me if I was okay, because she was aware of how I was being treated by some of the other people in the office at the time. It was rough. 30 hours a week for 250 quid a month. And then after that I quit and I went to work at Tesco, where I thought I was being paid like a king, because I went from £2.50 an hour up to about £7.50 an hour. But at the time it was only a 4-hour a week contract. No, 7.5 hour a week contract. So even then I was earning under 300 quid a month. And it was crazy. 250 quid a month at the school, about just under 300 quid a month at Tesco for far less hours, and I could have done more hours, but I hated working at Tesco. It was just not something that I wanted to do. And again, I did that for years. I think I worked at Tesco for 5 years, and everyone looked down upon me. My nan, who was probably the only member of my family that I've ever been really close to, was very concerned that I was just going to do nothing with my life and that she was going to die before she ever got a chance to see me do something. She was very worried that I'd never be financially stable, that I'd never be able to look after myself or anything like that, because all I did was work at Tesco. I didn't have any aspirations. I didn't know what jobs were out there for me. I figured that the only way of ever making any decent money was having a degree, and I don't have a degree, so I was just sort of stuck. Then, in lockdown, I decided to start doing fitness TikToks because I thought that the information about fitness on there was just generally abysmal and that I could help. And I was a personal trainer, or a qualified personal trainer as well, so I decided to do online fitness coaching. At the time, the going rate for a new PT or a new online coach was about £100 per month. I wanted 30 online clients paying £100 a month. That would be £3,000 a month. I hit that in February of 2021 when I started TikTok in December of 2020. TikTok didn't even pay back then at all. Full stop. Not really. It had the creator fund. That was what it used to be called. They did away with it eventually, but it used to pay about £20 per million views, which meant nobody got paid anything significant ever. No one paid their bills with TikTok back then. But at 10,000 followers, I had 30 clients paying £100 a month, and I was full. And be honest with you, check this out. I had a waiting list, right? So I increased my prices. I increased my prices to £130 a month. Even then, the waitlist had 138 people on it. Most online coaches in fitness world will take on up to about 100 clients because they'll do 20 check-ins per day, Monday through Friday, weekends off. Some won't even take weekends off because, again, it's one of those where the more you work, the more you earn. But you could take on 100 people at 130 quid or whatever it was then, and then what's that? 100 times 130? Do that maths per month. And again, that was before I had hundreds of thousands of followers. So it is possible. I promise you, there's something out there that you can do. And social media is your gateway to doing it. No matter what your interest is, there is a way. I have so many friends with very niche hobbies and things that they like to do. And because I've got this social media brain, because I'm doing it for so long, I look at it and I go, there are ways you could monetize this, even though you're not currently being monetized. I got a friend. He paints Warhammer. I suspect that if he was to gain a following in Warhammer, he wouldn't have to pay for the figurines that he paints anymore. He sells those Warhammer figures too. If he had a following, I guarantee they would sell a lot quicker than right now. I am transparent about income because I sympathize and empathize with how many people have to be out there that feel stuck and feel like they can't achieve anything because they've been told they'll never achieve anything. And I refused to allow that to be me. Somebody said that I'll never be able to do something. So I went, watch me. And I believe that is the mentality that we should all have, because I do not believe in just giving up. Do not give up. Be better. Do it. People love to say that it's too late to start, that there's too much competition, there's too many other people doing it. So, you're the only version of you that exists, and I promise you, it isn't just an ever-increasing amount of people either, because for every someone that starts, someone quit. You gotta think. Whoever you watch on the internet today, is it the same set of people to exactly the same people as it was when you were younger? Because mine are not. Yeah, there's a few that I'll keep up with, but generally I would say that every couple of years I find like a new batch of people that I will watch. People come and go, people quit, people stop, people retire, you know? Just like any other job, people retire and move on and do other things. New people have to come in. There are new viewers coming in. Think about it, right? I remember one of my nephews, he didn't do school, and someone asked him what job does he want to do. He wants to be an influencer. Loads of people, loads of kids and teenagers want to be influencers. They grow up, they get a bit older, they get access to social media, they go and watch YouTube videos. There is always new people joining online, you know? YouTube reports every year higher and higher total viewer numbers. The audience continues to grow. You just need to provide them things to watch. You just have to learn to make a video that's engaging, that people want to actually just sit there and watch through. You can do it. Stop half-arsing it. Get it done. Make it happen. It's your life. No one's coming to save you.